We look at celebrities as role models and sources of inspiration, so it's particularly heartbreaking when one of our beloved idols unexpectedly passes away at such a young age.
It's never goodbye.
But despite their untimely deaths, their legacy continues to live on. Let's pay tribute to these 12 celebrities under 50 who were gone too soon. What's up, Factnatics? This is Discovery Amuse, serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. Stay tuned for number one, because his demise left a lasting scar in the hearts of NBA fans the world over.
I love you 3,000.
Number 12, Chadwick Boseman. Before landing his breakthrough role as Prince T'Challa, aka the Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman became one of Hollywood's most promising actors when he played music icon James Brown in the 2014 biopic Get On Up. For his turn as the Black Panther in 2018, Boseman embraced the story with so much pride and devotion that he pushed for characters to speak in South African accents. He also discussed ancient African symbols and spirituality on the set.
Only reason I don't kill you where you stand is because I know who you are.
Sadly, unbeknownst to his legions of fans, Boseman was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016 and was secretly battling the disease when he reprised the Black Panther role in the last two Avenger movies, Infinity War and Endgame.
Wakanda forever!
On August 28th of 2020, at the age of 43, Boseman passed away with his family at his side, but not before finishing his last film, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, for which he was nominated for a posthumous Oscar. From Wakanda Forever to Black Mamba Forever, make sure to stick around till our number one legend. Number 11, Paul Walker. How coincidental is it that Paul Walker, one of the lead stars of the Fast and the Furious franchise, died while riding a Porsche Carrera GT?
Hey, thought you could leave without saying goodbye.
On November 30th, 2013, the 40-year-old actor suffered a fatal car crash when his friend Roger Rodas was driving the Porsche sports car at high speeds while Walker was in the passenger seat. He was in the middle of filming Furious 7 when the fateful tragedy struck.
This was unlike anything we could have imagined.
For the remainder of Brian O'Connor's scenes in Furious 7, the film crew brought in Paul's brothers, Cody and Caleb, to serve as his body doubles, and Paul's face was digitally mapped over his brothers during post-production. Number 10, Amy Winehouse. The multi-awarded singer-songwriter rose to fame pretty fast, but she also spiraled down just as quickly.
I think I've come to the realisation that life is short as well, you know? You've got to live in the moment.
Winehouse skyrocketed to superstardom in 2006 as a result of her critically acclaimed album Back to Black, which won multiple Grammys for the genre-bending singer.
They tried to make me go to rehab. I said no.
But behind her successful career, the troubled musician's life was spiraling out of control. She checked in and out of treatment for her drug addiction, got into fights, and appeared in public with sores and scratches on her body. She was often too drunk to perform in gigs, and she started canceling concerts. Her dysfunctional relationship with British actor Blake Fielder Civil didn't help either, as the actor fed the singer's drug addiction.
As mad as it sounds, it was the only thing I was bringing to the table for a while. Because, I couldn't match her financially.
In one of her last concerts in Belgrade in 2011, Winehouse was booed for being too drunk and drugged to perform on stage. The 27-year-old singer was found dead in her home on July 23, 2011, after suffering from alcohol poisoning. And the world finally realized the full gravity of the singer's struggles behind the limelight, albeit too late. Number 9, Chester Bennington. Better known as the lead singer of one of the biggest rock bands of the 2000s, Linkin Park's Chester Bennington was adored by his fans for his distinct voice, which actor Jared Leto once described as a mix of delicate and ferocious. The 41-year-old frontman was known to have a history of alcohol and substance abuse and had been contemplating taking his own life after experiencing sexual abuse as a kid. Still, when he was reported to have died by way of suicide on July 20th, 2017, his untimely death came as a shock to his friends, family, and fans.
And he had past attempts. This was not a time where any of our families suspected this to happen.
Just 2 months before his demise, Bennington even tweeted that he was feeling creative and even wrote 6 songs. Linkin Park's new album at the time, One More Light, was also topping the charts, and the band was gearing up for a tour. Hence, no one saw the tragedy coming. But depression had proven once again to be a silent killer, and none of us should ever, ever take it for granted. Number 8, Kurt Cobain. Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit became the anthem of a generation that was jaded with mainstream culture and traditional values, and Kurt Cobain became the voice of rebellion for a lot of Gen Xers. Owing to the success of the critically acclaimed album Nevermind, Nirvana was hailed as one of the most influential rock bands of all time.
We're just as the same passive-aggressive people as we used to be, you know, we never fight. It's easier to work that way, you know, because we have a mission.
But on April 5th, 1994, their rising fame was cut short when Cobain reportedly committed suicide in his home in Seattle, Washington. Prior to his death, his family and friends, including rock star wife Courtney Love, had been trying to intervene with Cobain's drug abuse problem. But just a month before his death, Cobain nearly died of an overdose of heroin.
Could you have stopped it?
Yes.
Could you have stopped it permanently?
No, but I could have been diligent.
In his apartment, authorities found Cobain's suicide note, which quoted a Neil Young song saying, "It is better to burn out than to fade away." He was only 27. Number 7, Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger's accidental death shocked the world to the core as the then 28-year-old actor was right at the pinnacle of his career.
I haven't seen any of this. I haven't experienced any of this before.
So you're feeling famous right now?
Yeah, I guess.
The Australia-born actor began his Hollywood journey with a pretty boy-next-door image, but his full acting potential came to light when he landed serious roles in films like The Patriot, Monsters Ball, and the trailblazing movie Brokeback Mountain, for which he earned an Oscar nod.
Get the off me!
In 2008, Ledger bagged the iconic role of Joker for the Batman movie The Dark Knight. He became so devoted to the role that he locked himself away and tried to delve deeper into the mind of the maniacal villain.
You have nothing to threaten me with.
But Ledger's method didn't do his bouts of insomnia any favors. He was also having a tough time dealing with his recent breakup with actress Michelle Williams. On January 22nd, 2008, even before The Dark Knight was released, the actor was found dead in his New York apartment due to an accidental overdose of prescription drugs. Number 6, Aaliyah. Little did fans know that Aaliyah's music video for Rock the Boat would be the last time they would ever see the young R&B superstar. In 2001, the 22-year-old singer flew to the Abaco Islands in the Bahamas to shoot scenes for the music video. On August 25th, after filming, she boarded a Cessna plane to head back to Miami. But after taking off, the plane crashed and burst into flames. The horrific tragedy killed the singer along with 8 other passengers.
Aaliyah was deeply loved and would be so deeply missed. I think I speak for all of us standing here when I say she was definitely one in a million.
Aaliyah's passion for her craft and her influence as a singer, actor, and fashion icon continues to inspire a new generation of hip-hop artists, 2 decades after her untimely death.
It's been too long and I'm lost without you. What am I gonna do?
Number 5, Tupac Shakur. Tupac's demise became a cautionary tale that celebrities aren't immune to being victims of heinous gang-related crimes.
Let it go back to when we played as kids with their chains.
That's the way it is. Regarded as one of hip-hop music's greatest stars, Tupac rapped about the injustices faced by many African Americans, and his vulnerable lyrics spoke of the realities of violence, drug abuse, and poverty. However, he also had a history of violent altercations with law enforcement and even spent months in prison.
I believe that I'm my own man, and I'm a man. You know, money gave me confidence. The screams of the crowd gave me confidence. But before that, I was a shell of a man.
On September 7, 1996, the 25-year-old Tupac, who was a member of the Bloods gang, had a scuffle with a man named Orlando Anderson, who was a member of the Bloods' rival gang, the Crips. Later that evening, Tupac was shot in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas and was pronounced dead at the hospital 6 days later. But his shooter remains to be a mystery to this day. Some also believe his hip-hop rival Biggie Smalls and Biggie's boss P. Diddy were behind the fatal attack. Number 4. Corey Monteith. The glitter of showbiz life has been tainted with stories of celebrities falling victim to substance or alcohol addiction, and even young up-and-coming celebs are not spared. Like Corey Monteith, the Canadian actor who famously played Finn Hudson on the musical TV series Glee.
I wish that I had Jesse's girl.
His stint on Glee opened more opportunities for the young actor, but his life behind his booming career was far from perfect. Monteith's struggle with drug abuse reportedly started when he was 13. His drinking problem progressed to consuming cocaine, crystal meth, and ecstasy.
For me, it wasn't so much about, the substances per se. It was more about not fitting in. It was not. I hadn't found myself at all.
On July 13, 2013, he was found lifeless in a hotel room in Canada due to a lethal combination of heroin and alcohol. He died at age 31, just 11 weeks after he finished his last round of rehab. Number 3. Naya Rivera. Another actor who found overnight fame with Glee and suffered an unfortunate death was Naya Rivera, who played the feisty cheerleader Santana Lopez on the show.
You can't hit me! Well, sure I can, unless you got yourself knocked up again.
But unlike her ballsy and aggressive character on Glee, Naya Rivera in real life was a caring and loving mom to her 4-year-old son. And this immeasurable mother's love ultimately led to Rivera's untimely death.
Her best role was her being a mom. That was the most fulfilling to see her do that.
On July 8, 2020, the 33-year-old actor was first reported missing at Lake Piru in California, where she had gone on a boat trip with her son Josie. The boy was found sleeping on the pontoon boat, but there were no signs of Rivera.
He told investigators that he looked back and saw her disappear under the surface of the water.
On July 13th, authorities finally recovered Rivera's body and was pronounced dead due to drowning. Investigators believe that the water current may have caused problems, and Rivera used all her remaining strength to save her son but wasn't able to pull herself up. Number 2. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Torture the way what they're doing to me.
After more than a decade of playing off-kilter roles on the big screen, Philip Seymour Hoffman finally achieved his long-overdue recognition when he won an Oscar for his breakthrough role as the famed writer Truman Capote in the 2000 film Capote.
I'm fortunate because I've been offered and given the opportunity to work on some great projects with great people.
Since then, he almost became a regular fixture on the awards show circuit, earning nod after nod for his performances in Charlie Wilson's War, Doubt, and The Master, among others.
What scares you so much about traveling into the past, sir?
I'm not.
Are you afraid that we might discover that our past has been reshapen?
But despite his success for years, Hoffman had been open about his struggles with drug addiction, which started in his 20s. In 2013, he even checked into a rehab program to cure his heroin addiction. However, the great actor soon relapsed, and on February 2nd, 2014, at the age of 46, Hoffman died in his apartment from a drug overdose. Before we go to our number 1 pick, do us a solid and make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on notifications in your app's settings. Number 1. Kobe Bryant. Basketball star and sports icon Kobe Bryant, aka the Black Mamba, is considered one of history's greatest NBA players. He played for the LA Lakers for 20 years and scored 5 NBA titles before retiring from the sport in April 2016.
And thank you from the bottom of my heart. God, I love you guys.
Proving he's a force to be reckoned with even outside of the hardcourt, in 2018, Kobe won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film for his work entitled Dear Basketball.
I'm the father of 4 girls. So that is my next obsession, is how do we lead that charge from the front? How do we take an animation industry that lacks in diversity?
Sadly, his next big adventure into the world of animation was cut short when on January 26, 2020, the Black Mamba died in a helicopter crash near the Southern California coast. His 13-year-old daughter Gianna and 7 passengers on board were also killed in the accident.
In life, as a parent, Kobe left nothing in the tank.
His sudden death may have left an enormous void, but through the lives he touched, the Black Mamba's legacy will live on.
Thank you guys so much. I love you. Mamba out.
So, who among these celebs inspired you the most? Let us know in the comments section below. Take home any of our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf or clicking the link in the video description. And while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? Now, here's something to uplift your spirits. Check out our list of the 13 young stars who came out as LGBTQ. Till then, stay a legend, Factnatics, and see you in the next video.